Out of Theater Reacts just saw Dumb Money, and the first thing that you are going to notice with this film, directed by Craig Gillespie, who of course just did Cruella, before that I, Tonya. I love his style. He's got a very crisp storytelling way of getting his message across in his films. The edits are very strong. But what you see here is an attempt to recreate the magic of The Social Network, with Fincher working with Sorkin. Here, unfortunately, it's not at that level. You have a score that very clearly apes Ross and Reznor, and because of that, you really get the feel that you're watching almost just a slightly subpar version of The Social Network. That said, you have so many strong performances here from an ensemble perspective, with Paul Dano in the lead, Shailene Woodley, good to see her again, very strong as the wife. You have all kinds of people popping in and out for smaller performances. Seth Rogen, one of the larger performances here, good supporting there. Sebastian Stan. You have Pete Davidson. I would say that Pete Davidson, I want to squeeze just a little bit out of this film, even though I am a fan of Pete Davidson. You go back and you look at The King of Staten Island. Very good in that film. Very underrated movie as well. But I still think you need to take him a little bit out of this film. Also, we follow a couple of young girls as they are buying this GameStop stock, and we get a little too much into them. I think they're the least interesting characters here. So the movie kind of gets bogged down with them a little bit too much. So what I would do is I would just tighten this up just a little bit. It's 145. I don't think it feels overly long. The back end, though, just a little bit. Just here and there, just a little squeeze, little less Pete Davidson, and then you just allow the film to really be a little bit tighter. But this, coupled with the GameStop documentary, it was called Rise of the Gamers, a Neon film, I believe it was last year. A nice way to do a 1-2 tag team on that, to really get this situation and kind of feel it even more so. But I like the film. Craig Gillespie's got a real talent for telling a story, as I mentioned off the top of this reaction. And this will be, I think, a very well-received film from the average moviegoer. It's easy to understand, even though we're talking about stocks and shorts and holds and all these things that frankly I don't know much about. I think the film does it in a way, discusses that language in a way that is accessible to you, more so than, say, The Big Short. One of the problems I have with that film is it tries to tell you so much inside baseball information that it really gets bogged down. This film doesn't do that. Overall, I like the film. I don't think it's at an Oscars level, but it is one of the better films we've had at the multiplex in the last several weeks and months, and look for it to be a minor awards film with some people popping in. I would strongly suggest at least looking at Dano. The problem is that he's the lead, and this year is stacked in that category. We'll discuss it more coming up on Thursday night on MMT, as this film starts in New York and LA and then broadens out and goes fully wide by the end of the month. Go see it. It's Dumb Money. For now, from the Burbank 16, peace.